Well, hello everybody, as I'm sat on my perch outside my apartment here in Bilbao. I hope you're all doing fantastically well. I am going to take you on a little walk in a second, don't you worry, as this old woman goes past me and probably thinks, what is this stupid idiot Noel Gallagher looking twonk doing, just sat here outside my house recording himself. So as that is the case, I will be strolling around talking to you today about the Leeds United news. Now, something I've got to say, and some of you people I've seen in the comment section below are fans of Bilbao, as I'm getting really awkward stares right now, understandably so. Now, what I will say is these street signs are fantastic. Really, just the little things, everybody. Street signs, absolutely fantastic. The view, quite built up but lovely. So much character. If you can get to this place, everybody, really cheap. We've just been sat and we've had 2 red wines. £3.38. What is going on in the UK? What a dump that place is. Listen, I live there, I reside there, and I know exactly what it's all about, but they're just the prices, the culture, the people. You do wonder, and I think to myself, you guys who live abroad, living the life. Anyway, should we get into today's news, or should we carry on talking about trips abroad and all that sort of stuff? I know you guys enjoy it, which is quite nice, but the cool thing about Bilbao is, I'm not sure if you can see it quite, I'll show it, but it's the amount of Bilbao flags they have, and it's pretty cool as well, because obviously they see themselves as obviously the Basque country, and they see themselves as on their own and independent, obviously, similar to obviously Barcelona with the Catalan connection, but obviously the tourism side of things in Barcelona is very different. Somewhere like here, barely any of them speak English, which is tough, but it's pretty cool as well. But a little lesson I learnt last night is, look, we have another Bilbao garage here. It is riddled. It is Bilbao Nation, this. It's incredible. Such a proud group of people, which is pretty cool to see. But what's really cool, and you can see why Bielsa loved it, you can just see why Bielsa absolutely loved this place. You know, it's just so riddled with this one club, so it's cool. But yeah, a little bit of history that I learned was the reason that a lot of them here in Bilbao have, there's mass Palestine flags everywhere, and it's nice to see. There's another one up there, look, another one. But because they see obviously Palestine has been suppressed, and I'm not getting into any political leadings here or anything like that, but they see Palestine has been suppressed. They see themselves as being suppressed as well through the years in the Basque country, which is really interesting. And apparently they've got a real connection with Northern Ireland as well, which sort of accentuates and is understandable with all the troubles that were going on there. But yeah, more Bilbao stuff here, look, it's everywhere, guys. But yeah, really cool anyway, really cool. But yeah, a little bit different. I enjoy doing these little walk-alongs anyway, not watch-alongs, but walk-alongs with Connor. If you enjoy them, slap a like on the video, of course. But yeah, what we've got to talk about today. So really interesting news that I woke up to this morning was that Leeds United's position is really strong now when it comes to Christchurch Sommerville. And the reason behind that is because apparently of the Red Bull investment, Leeds are obviously not forced to do anything. The player is really happy at Leeds, which is a massive thing as well. So Leeds are not having to do anything right now. Right now, according to reports, we're not having to do anything, which sort of goes against what we were speaking about in terms of formal offers and Leeds having to have formal offers due to what's going on regarding, you know, staying within the financial constraints of the Football League. And obviously we know we need to do that at some point, as in sell big players, but you do wonder if Sommerville's going to be on that list. Is Archie Gray going to be on that list? You'd expect so, because they're major assets here at Leeds United, but I do wonder if that's going to be one of those things that maybe Leeds are able to quietly keep a hold of. But Brighton, apparently the only team right now to be really discussing with Leeds United, you know, formalities and discussing a price, and it's been rumoured right now to be north of 40 million quid, which is fair play. You know, obviously we saw last season with Lavia, we saw last season with Ward-Prowse at Southampton. They were demanding massive fees because they were top players. Now I know they've proven it at Premier League level, but at the same time, Christchurch Sommerville has been one of the best players we've seen ever at Championship level, so that's something that needs to be taken into consideration as we come down this pretty cool street with more Bilbao flags everywhere. The reason I keep going on about it as well, everybody, is because this woman said to me this morning, we're getting cash out, and she said, where are you from? And I said Leeds, and she looked a little bit puzzled, And then my friend said he's from Manchester, and they went, oh, well, we went and beat Manchester United 3-2. And it was a sea of Bilbao fans in Manchester, and I was there. And I went, so you didn't know where Leeds was, but you will know Marcelo Bielsa. And she went, oh, Marcelo Bielsa, yes, Leeds United. And she was a fantastic English speaker, and yeah, we got into conversation. It was excellent. It was really cool, but they love Bielsa here. They love him, which is amazing to see as well. But yeah, back to Sommerville anyway. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But I'm excited to see either way, to be honest, because if Crease stays at Leeds, amazing. If he goes, we get a very, very good fee, and it means that we're able to do a little bit more in the market. Good stuff. So Joe Rodon as well, a little bit of an update for you guys. Rodon, it looks like there is another club in the mix now. Southampton have been lumped in there. Apparently there is going to be bids incoming for Joe Rodon. Is it going to be essentially Leeds United keeping hold of the man from Spurs, the Welshman? I don't think it's going to be realistic, to be honest with you. I think Leeds are going to have to look elsewhere. I think that's pretty obvious. I don't think there's any sort of like, oh, wow, that's so surprising. I was saying this at the end of the season, and I fully expect him to go to one of those three promoted teams. I fully expect it. And it's for Joe's career as well, it'll be a lot better. You know, he's at the age now where, is he 26, 27? You've got to be realistic about where he wants to be in his career. Is he going to come to Leeds? Is he going to, are we going to be able to buy him? I think it's going to be unlikely. 8 to 12 million quid is muted, has been discussed. Obviously, there are problems apparently with a monetary agreement between Leeds and Tottenham. Daniel Levy obviously extended his contract. Are they going to be able to stump that fee up? Looks unlikely. But listen, there's other players. There's so many other players. And as I said, I've said this multiple times before, I'd love to keep hold of Joe. But listen, if you can't get hold of Joe, go get Ashley Phillips from Tottenham. Do that. Do something like that. Say to them, we'll discuss an Archie Gray deal, but get that one done. Maybe next year we'll discuss it. Get them in that false sense of security, and then pull it from underneath them when we sell Archie Gray to Chelsea for £700 million. But yeah, I just think we've got to be smart with this, to be honest with you. But there are players out there, everybody. I think the continuity with Joe Rodon would be amazing, but I wouldn't panic over it. I really wouldn't. I think at some point, Leeds are going to have to look at other defenders anyway. So yeah, Joe Rodon's continuity would be amazing. Same time, I'm not heartbroken by the news. So, I'm going back up this hill now. Something I did want to discuss today as well is Tyler Adams, a bit of a name that we've not heard for a while after he pretty much dragged Leeds through the mud when it came to court. A court case that he was pinning on Leeds if they didn't let him go. Mr. Leader, legend. I mean, some fans, when they were going on about this guy, honestly, I used to have arguments with fans every now and again. I get football subjective, but it can be subjective, and I can passionately disagree with you, which is what I'm doing now. Who say he was able to spread the ball. He was the best thing we'd had. He might be even better than Calvin Phillips in his prime at Leeds. Literally, because he used to roar and go, beat his chest a little bit, and would grab older players when they scored and rattle them. And that's sort of worth 20 million to some Leeds fans. It's just the passion merchant slant, which I am a bit of a passion merchant, but not to that extent. And I just felt so many Leeds fans always big this guy up so much. He's shown his true colours. He's shown his true colours now. Obviously, not only, I was told some pretty mad things about this guy, which I'm not going to go on about on here, but he literally was willing to drag Leeds through the mud. I swear to God, if it ever comes out one day, he did not give a shit about Leeds United, and this accentuates it today. For a club, in my opinion, who put him on the map. I know he wasn't available for 6 months of the season, but that's him behind the scenes, or maybe he was just unlucky. But today, I think he was on an interview with Tim Howard, obviously former US goalkeeper, former Everton, Man United goalkeeper, and he was saying that apparently they were referencing Leeds United to be almost the starting point of his time in England, and he just went on a little bit of, I understand there's a bit of context, of course, but he just started saying out of nowhere, like nobody pushed him to say this, but he just said, they might love me, they might hate me, it's a blue collar city, blah blah blah. And then he just said at the end of the interview, quotes, and said, I couldn't care less. And I just thought to myself, wow, this is a guy where so many fans were like, Tyler Adams this, Tyler Adams that, and you just don't know until you know, dear. What an absolute snake he was. What an absolute snake. Sinisterra was ready to take us to the cleaners at the end, but at least we know. At least we understood with Sinisterra that, look, this is where he wants to go. We know he's going to do it, and he's not apologising for it. This is a guy in Tyler Adams who we were all talking about as being future captain. He's going to be a legend at Leeds. His quality, this, that and the other. He's a breaker up of play. He loves Leeds. How wrong we all were. He couldn't care less. Well, it's the mark of the man, isn't it, really? Because we put him on the map. And Leeds was a stepping stone for him. And unfortunately, I guess that's where Leeds are in terms of a club. But it does hurt a little bit more when it's that fresh when it comes to Tyler Adams. It wasn't even that long ago, and he couldn't care less what we say. He's not bothered. I'm not saying that in a professional capacity. You've got to be pretty ruthless, of course you have. You've got to be ruthless with your time and your words, of course. But I just didn't think there was any need for that. We are a club. We paid him a handsome wage. He was one of our top earners. And for him to come out and say, I don't care what they say. I mean, I don't even think Leeds fans go out of the way to hate him either. But he's kind of made it a thing, very, very Kasper Schmeichel-esque. And it was a shame to hear, I thought, I don't like what he did. I'm not a massive fan of his character, especially with what I've been told, but allegedly. But yeah, I just thought it was a bit off. Tyler Adams, go check the quotes out. You'll be able to find them online. But yeah, they might hate me. They might love me. I think the perfect thing to say there would have been, they might hate me. They might love me, but that's football. It is what it is. That's fans, I understand. I'm a fan of football myself. That would have been the ideal answer. But to say like he couldn't care less, I just think disrespectful. But that's the mark of the man, isn't it? That's what we've sort of realised. And he was one of the first, everybody, FYI, to try and get out of the door before anyone. So yeah, let me know what you think about that in the comment section below, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure. Like, comment, subscribe. If you enjoy this, please let me know in the comment section below. If you've been to Bilbao, let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.